Hello, hello, and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. My name is Zeno. I'm your streamer for this evening. Tonight, we got a winner's bracket quarterfinal match in the Wind Waker Challenge Cup between Mr. Mario and CrystalBellis. On comms, we got Koala and Two Man, and I'm going to hand it off to them for the rest of the race.
Perfect. Hey. I'm super excited for this matchup, honestly. This is one that I was definitely keeping my eye on whenever I was making my prediction bracket, because both of these runners have a lot of really solid things going for them.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. It's definitely going to be a good match. This is game 2 of their best of 3. Crystal is up a game over Mr. Mario right now, so she could take it all tonight. But they are winners bracket side, so even if Mr. Mario loses this match, he's not out of the tournament yet.
Yeah, absolutely not. He'll be able to go down to losers, and knowing Mr. Mario, I could see him taking a few more games. He's a pretty good runner. Both of these are really good runners. There's a reason they're still in winner's side.
Very true. Anything you are hoping to see in our seed tonight?
I mean, let's be real. Anything we can do to get the chat to win tonight, I'm all in for.
See,
Go ahead.
I'm looking for wacky logic. I want wacky logic.
Yes.
Don't give me something straightforward. Give me something that makes you go, huh?
You know, I think that is always my favorite kind of seed to play with Wind Waker, especially with like how some of these seeds can go. We have seen a lot of crazy things happen both in the top 24 bracket and in Challenge Cup. Season 6 has not held back so far, and I hope it continues to not.
You know, do you think we'll see another Lights Before Magic seed? We've seen a handful of those already.
Honestly, my prediction will be no, but I'll bet you we get both Leaf and Fire Arrows.
Before Magic?
Yep.
Interesting. Then where do you think Lights are going to be? How far after Magic?
I think it's going to be at the very end of a Magic locked dungeon.
Or it'll be, we'll get Magic super early and nothing to use with it for an hour and a half. I guess that's the other opportunity. But off they go. They have started the race.
Perfect.
While we were doing that, spawning on Eastern Ferry, it looks like. Let's see if we get any good hints here. Wind Temple, that Mulgara hint.
Mm-hmm.
So Tot G, Wind Temple, Tot G, 2 pretty long dungeons. Oh, and Forsaken Fortress, Short Boy.
Yep.
Cliff Plat dead, you hate to see it. Fire Mountain dead, you love to see it.
Just
Forsaken Fortress dead, you see it. Hyrule dead. So their shortest dungeon is hinted dead. Not make a huge difference, but it's pretty nice. A wallet in Tot G, that's obnoxious.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I saw the light ring chart and I was like, light arrows?
Bombs on Thorned Ferry. Great Ferry with Cliff Plat dead. 7 Armos is a sword.
Sword, okay. That's...
Oh boy.
Golf dead.
Dead. Bomb Island dead. With some annoying checks hinted dead. Kill all enemy. More annoying checks just hinted as dead.
That is honestly the best part about... Oh, and a Tingle statue.
The goal with the Tingle statue is you just don't get it until you find the other 4 at that point.
It's true. And it's really not in such a bad place that you need to like rush it immediately. It's just on Small Island. You can warp there at any time.
That's true. And immediate divergence from our runners here. Mr. Mario opting to start with Outset while Crystal heading straight to Windfall. It will be interesting to see when these runners can route in BPR and Thorned. Will it ever be convenient with a Cliff Plat hinted foolish?
I think that's going to be the number one question with this seed, in my personal opinion. Because those bombs and Thorned are going to be, like, huge. Like, absolutely huge. But with Cliff Plateau being hinted foolish, there's just not really an easy way to get there. Especially since the way that you could break into Thorned without the hammer uses bombs if you use the lookout platform on the outside. That one of the few ways you can anyways. So
one of the fun ways I've seen is storing the top of Waterfall at Private Oasis and then swimming to Thorn Ferry, but I don't really think we'll see that one today. That would be quite the play to pull out of the your old handbook.
Yeah, it would be interesting. I would give the runners that. Also, I'm interested to see who will benefit from this divergence early on. Like, will Crystal get rewarded for coming to Windfall immediately, or will Mr. Mario find something like a Picto Box, which he did
Mr.
just
Mario
right there?
got rewarded. You know, it's usually you just bet on density. Windfall has more checks. It's probably that, but finding that Picto before his first trip to Windfall, really convenient.
Yep.
So,
yeah, there is no, like, you could do either play, and most of the time either one will end up being fine. But I have found that doing Windfall earlier has been like my preference recently. But Mr. Mario got paid out for the main reason why I would want to put Windfall off, which is finding that Picto.
What I will say though is, you know, a lot of times, especially if you're going Windfall this early, you're knowing you're gonna double dip it. Crystal might just not even do hide and seek here, so she will potentially have that Picto to do all of that at the same time.
And that is very true. And it really just depends on, of course, if she chooses to skip hide and seek or not. So, and Mr. Mario is immediately coming here.
Yeah,
do not blame him one bit.
He's here without the delivery bag and stuff. He's gonna make return trips anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think this is gonna be a huge lead for Mr. Mario, but it is very convenient to have found that Picto before coming to Windfall.
Absolutely. But, I mean, it's still very early on. Anything can happen. And, I mean, there's a chance that maybe Crystal will get to route in something in Outset a little easier. So, you know.
That's very true.
Like, maybe while she's on Windfall, she finds a bottle or something.
That is also very possible. We have seen that before, where we have kind of those immediate divergences and both runners find something the other person would have wanted.
Yep. That's rando. But so far, nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
We've got Tingle Statue. We found Ferora's Pearl, which we do need. But
and there's a mail check behind it, so maybe something more interesting will be on that mail check.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what was I saying?
Look at that. So Mario found that Picto, but Crystal's gonna have that bottle to save Grandma. And immediately, what? Both runners finding something the other would have liked to have for their first trip.
Yep. Well, that is 2 items that I have, like, pseudo brought into existence. So, keep your eyes out, folks, and maybe I'll do some more.
Where is their hammer, Tuba? Oh, this is worse for Crystal, though.
Yeah, it is.
Opting to go for Lenzo door cancel while we know her Picto's where she'll go with that bottle.
Yep.
That is a little bit more unfortunate, but, you know, maybe she'll just take a page out of advice Tanjo always gives, which is always gamble, Pompey, and Vera.
Very true. Well, going back to that hammer question, I couldn't tell you for sure, but just based off of, you know, going off of anything based on information, I'm going to say Salvage Core.
Salvage Core, wow. So you're saying people who would have gone mother and child to Western as a swim at the very beginning would be super rewarded?
Would say so. I mean, it really just depends on if they then decide to immediately rush down those bombs, which, you know, why wouldn't you?
It would be very funny when you think about it to super swim from mother and child to Western to break in and then walk out, go to Salvage Core and find Hammer.
Yeah, exactly. Green shirt kid giving Crystal some trouble, but end of the day, got him down.
Gonna see Mr. Mario picking up his bottle now.
I was just there.
Do you remember the names of the kids?
No.
It's like Jin, Jan. This one she's chasing right now is Jean Roberto, and then Ivan. The one who doesn't fit in with the J Club, and yet he's the leader.
Yeah. I mean, I've just always called them blue-haired kid, green shirt kid, red shirt kid, and Ivan. So.
And Ivan. Ivan's the one who deserves his name. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, for several reasons. Because he's the leader, and also because I hate chasing him.
Why do you hate chasing him? He can be so easy. Half the time he dodges right into you.
It is true. Whenever he's easy, he's very easy. When he's not and he dodges, then suddenly you're running all the way across Windfall. Oh, Crystal.
Looked like she was moving a little too fast there.
It happens. But, I mean, it looks like she is recovering this super fast, so not going to be too horrible here. Yeah, look at that.
We will see Mr. Mario check Pompey and Vera since he has that Picto, so we'll know pretty quickly. Ooh, Crystal went too high on the tree.
Yep. Roof strats. Love to see him.
We will know fairly quickly whether or not that that Picto is going to be bad for Crystal, but 2 Spiky's up in Lenzo's. A leaf? Wow.
That's really good.
And a shield. That's okay. That's... Okay, so now if something really good is on Pompey and Vera, that's even worse, because at this point for Crystal, you'd be thinking like, wow, what a great find. You know, breaking in was the right choice. Well, meanwhile, Picto's just right there.
Yep.
But Pompey and Vera might just be, you know, a blue rupee. Oh, I guess it's probably not. A green rupee.
You never
blue
know.
Rupee was hinted.
Well, there are 2 blue rupees, so...
True. What if the other one's just also in logic?
That would be crazy.
If they're holding magic, that's terrible for Crystal.
Yeah, and amazing for Mr. Mario.
Yeah, especially because in this scenario, when you do Lenzo door cancel early without Picto, you're banking on if you ever come back, you want to come back with Leaf and Magic. And so she found that Leaf, and so if they have Magic, that'll be really bad. That'll be a big uh-oh early for Crystal. But until we see them, it could just be nothing, and she might be fine.
Yeah. For now, we just keep our fingers crossed for both runners. Oh!
Yeah, it looked like nothing
Commentator
from the kids
curse.
or Mrs. Marie. Meanwhile, Crystal just finishing up those first trip Windfall things. Only didn't get Mila on her first trip to Windfall. Gonna head up to Northern Ferry to pick up her path hint.
And notably, since this is to Mulgara, this could also be the Skull Hammer.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. I'm gonna guess it's the Iron Boots. I want it to be the most boring to Mulgara ever.
What do I think it's gonna be? You know what? You know what would be really mean?
What?
Delivery bag.
Delivery bag would be a wild one. The reason I don't think it's too mean, though, is you can pretty safely assume no one is getting that delivery bag before ever going to Windfall.
True. Unless they did the thing where they, you know, do the save right next to Windfall. But I haven't seen a lot of people do that this season. Oh. Well, there's something in Taji.
That's an interesting path hint to Mulgara.
All right, that is the start to some wacky logic, I suppose.
Yeah, well, it might not be too wacky.
Yeah, it's probably just going to be, oh, there's my Iron Boots.
Yeah, if it's like Iron Boots or Hookshot in Tower of the Gods, that's not too crazy, but it could be. At this point now, it could also be Skullhammer and Hop Across for Skullhammer locked bombs. That would be wacky.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty sick.
That's the logic. That's the wacky logic I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal here heading to Mother and Child. Looks dead to me. Yep, she's just gonna store it. So we will be seeing a super swim from Crystal after she gets her double storage. Oh, opting not to do the tech storage, instead going to do the drop storage.
Both work.
She could swim to Thorned here. I highly doubt it. I imagine this will just be a swim to Western to pick up Western and Salvage Core.
Oh, it's a Maggie's
letter on Pompey and Vera. Oh, that's so much worse for us, because now we have to remember, you know, who knows where Delivery Bag is.
Well, it wasn't on Northern Ferry, unfortunately.
Yeah. It'll just be on Manenko, and it'll be really annoying.
True.
Or no, most annoying. Maggie delivery reward delivery bag. That's no, that's not possible. What am I talking about?
I was sitting there like, wait, huh?
I've had wacky logic like that before, but not like that specifically. I have had. It's annoying when Maggie delivery reward gives you Maggie's letter, and that's what I was trying to harp on. And then I remember we're missing the wrong half of that equation.
I totally get where you were coming from, so don't you worry.
Crystal overshot the island, and she's now. Oh, it's right. It's there. You see it? Oh, she made it.
See, that's what we just called that flexing.
Yeah.
It was not even close. All right, so Mr. Mario taking out some aggression on Coral and making his way up to Northern Fairy. And meanwhile, we get to see Western here from Crystal locked behind that hammer.
True.
Also, I don't think Crystal grabbed a fairy from Northern Fairy.
She did.
She
grabbed
did?
a fairy
Okay.
from Northern Fairy and then went to Mother and Child and then is now here. So she's been to 3 fairy islands in a row.
Mm-hmm. I just didn't remember.
We're going to see Mr. Mario following in her footsteps a little bit. Going to pick up his Nehru's Pearl and his path to Wind Temple. Alright, don't forget Salvage Core, Crystal. Okay, she's moving towards Salvage Core.
Yep.
That's always the risk. Sometimes it's easy to forget this one. I don't want either runner to. Oh.
Well, that's not a hammer, so I was incorrect, but that was really good for the runner.
And we immediately have found magic and something to use with magic, so we don't get the Season 6 special this time.
It is true. It's looking like, I would assume, Mr. Mario's about to do the same stuff that Crystal just did, while Crystal is about to do the same stuff that Mr. Mario did.
I don't know if Mario is a swimmer, though. He's going to pick up his fairy here. But we'll see. Oh, no, he is opting. He's pulling out that Wind Waker, so he will be swimming, presumably to Western Fairy. And we're just going to kind of see them cleaning up the checks one another have done, with the one exception being Mr. Mario having that Maggie's letter because he found Picto Box before Windfall. Yep.
That and Crystal will also be able to check Grandma while she is here.
That's true. That's true. That's a good point.
Nice boomerang.
And that boomerang is actually going to be pretty nice. That makes a pretty early trip to Dragon Roost Island now.
That is true.
Pretty viable. Would be nice to go for.
Oh, and you know what? Crystal can now... This is so stupid, but she could now use the boomerang to kill all the cannons at the Thorn Fairy platform.
Oh, Mr. Mario stored the chest but didn't get double storage. So he didn't camera lock. So he opting to just warp away, so he will not be getting his magic yet, critically.
Nope. Oh, it came down to text box timing. That's rough.
Oh, yeah. He still could have re-gotten it, getting dry storage the way Crystal opted to do it, but instead chooses to just leave. Salvage Core's at a handful of islands, so he'll be able to pick them up eventually. Not quite sure where he's planning to go from here. No, he's just picking up Beetle and bouncing.
Mm-hmm. I think that very well may have been I messed up. I need to be moving while I think about what to do next.
It's understandable.
Mm-hmm. But with that...
Getting that Picto, yeah. Sure, she's not happy to see it.
Yeah. But... And importantly, because Mario actually did just do that beetle dip and then left, he is immediately coming here to DRI, and he could go to Poprin afterwards and get that magic.
That's true. And we're seeing new checks. Now the runner's been to DRI at Power Bracelets. Even more reason to want to go to Paw Print.
Very true.
The only thing you'd be putting on off now for is a grappling hook. And who knows if you'd be... how willing you are to make that play. I also think that Power Bracelets is really nice because instead of going straight to Paw Print, he could head to Eastern Fairy first.
Very true.
For his grapple. But here, he's going to grab... It looked like he's just grabbing the storage before knocking the chest down.
It's a fine order.
Yeah, it's not the most common thing you see, but, you know, you can do it. You do have to be a little bit more careful with this one, though, especially with the boomerang, because you can get crushed by the chest as it falls down.
Yep. Ask me how I know.
Ask me how I know. And
that looks like a spiky chest to me.
Spiky to me. It looks like Dragon Roost Island is just loaded.
Well, it's a good thing Crystal followed him here then.
And also, Xena, you're saying you grab Crescent or Eastern before Propant. You also have the option of going from DRI, peeking Crescent, and then warping Tot G to sail up to Eastern. You could grab both of them before Propant.
Also true. And I mean, if you really wanted to, you could just
do anything else before.
Well, what you could do Crescent, peek that, and then go down to Paw Print, or you can peek Crescent, warp away, and then come back later whenever you go to Windfall, because Windfall to Paw Print is like a stupid fast sail.
It is.
That being said, though, since they've already been to Windfall once, I would be shocked to see that.
Yeah, especially with nothing. Crystal might go a little sooner with that Picto. I don't necessarily think she will, but it's an option.
Yeah. Also, nice cheese.
Yeah, we saw a shard up there. Now, what do we think we stored? I'm going to guess Command Melody.
Ooh, I like that guess. I'm going to say Dins. I'm thinking we're getting the last pearl.
Okay. I don't hate it.
Oh, the runners will.
I'm not running. I don't care.
Exactly.
Crystal will get to do this nice leaf strat, though, where you just come to these spires or pillars or whatever around the back. And with chest storage, you can just run right up them. Ooh, she's a little low, though.
Yeah, I think that leaf pump might have been necessary.
I think it saved her, yeah. And it looked like Mario went to Crescent and didn't see anything.
I thought he just went immediately to Paw Print.
Did he go immediately to Paw Print? He picked up his magic though, so not getting that Western swim actually isn't gonna matter for him too much since Western Fairy had nothing.
Yeah, nah. Also, nothing really that we can see on the front screen for a stored item yet.
So, chat keeping me honest, no Crescent for Mario, but it looks like Crystal will be checking up to Crescent. Oh, wow, I couldn't see that at all.
Neither could I. And I don't think Crystal could either. Oh, wait, maybe she could.
Cheese.
She's going for it. And yeah, more cheese.
More cheese.
Love to see it. Well, dang, good peeking skills for Crystal there. That's annoying.
The delivery bag. We did not, well, yeah, we did not store the ghost ship chart. Crystal, trying to look around. I can't see what she might have stored from here.
It was the last pearl.
Was it? Oh, yeah, look at that. Tower of the Gods down there. You're right. A bow in a left chest in Paw Print, too.
So, interestingly, if they make their way into Thorned right now, via some shenanigans, they could just full clear Tachi.
They could. Getting into Thorned right now with interesting shenanigans is not the quickest move, though.
No, absolutely not.
Advantage of having soup, sure. Soup doesn't help too much in Tachi. There's not much you would want soup for.
Yeah. Honestly, in my personal opinion, these dungeons are probably not very soup intensive.
With the exception, I'd say Wind Temple can be. There's a lot of guaranteed magic drops in Wind Temple, but not all of them are super convenient.
And that is fair. Yeah, having safety is nice, but I find myself picking up those guaranteed magic drops a lot more, and especially since she doesn't have to. Well, they don't have to do kill all enemies.
That's true.
That also means that they won't necessarily need to use the soup for refilling down there or shooting light arrows if the seed is nice enough for that.
That's true. I do agree with you. Mario warping to Windfall. I wonder if he's gonna do some more Windfall checks or if he's just gonna go to Cyclos. Oh, he's opting to do a little bit more Windfall here.
Well, here's the thing. He can get the Zunari thing right now, and he can also just check Cafe Bar.
That's true. So, I mean, and we'll be able to know how important was that Picto before his first Windfall trip.
Yep.
That's been on my mind for 20 minutes, Tuba.
It's true. And I can't remember, did Mr. Mario... He went from Paw Print to Crescent, so he has not done...
Mila, too, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, I guess he can store Maggie's door.
It's true. We could still get the annoyance, though. If it's a vanilla Moblin's letter, that would still be the right kind of annoying.
Very true.
Of what I said. And yeah, hop across hammer now just is a possibility. All those pearls were in logic.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be annoying.
I mean, just hop across hammer into bombs and thorn. That is just antithesis of any Wind Waker runner, honestly.
In any other seed, it wouldn't be that bad, but since we had Cliffplat hinted...
Ooh.
That looked like Eastern Fairy, I believe?
Yep, Eastern Fairy had irons. Well, that's one less thing that it can be Path to Mulgara for in Tot G. I think it literally can only be Skullhammer, Command Melody, and Hookshot.
It's true. But any of those... Well, Skullhammer's restricted since we know where bombs are, but the other two could be almost anywhere in Tot G. I guess Command Melody kind of has to be in the first half, but...
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess one thing to think about is that... Oh, wait, hold on. Something to keep in mind is that Open Seas to Forsaken Fortress is going to have to probably lead to that. Well...
No, Open Seas to Forsaken Fortress could just mean a magic-locked hookshot, since we found magic on Salvage Core.
Yeah, that is true. So, forget what I was saying there.
Yeah, it's very likely we've just already found Open Seas to Forsaken Fortress. As soon as hookshot is magic-locked.
But, okay, alternatively, though, if hookshot is magic-locked, then that makes it even more likely that that hammer is sitting inside Tachi.
It's true.
Because then it's either Command Melody in the first half, or it's Skullhammer on Hop Across.
Well, it could be hookshot magic locked in Tachi. It's just in the big key chest.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. If I'm talking about a singular check for hammer, I guess we should talk about a singular check for hookshot.
Or, and there's some even more, like, maybe it's Tachi mini-boss and then grapple is in Wind Temple or something, there's...
Oh, I hate that.
A lot of scenario. There's a lot of scenarios here where, like, hookshot's just somewhere in Tot G, which is path and magic locked, and that's resolves two paths hints at once. Oh my god, I tripped over my tongue.
Or
okay, well, that's more path to Forsaken Fortress, I guess.
All right, fine.
Oh, it's just that. All right, well, now hookshot can be anywhere.
Yeah. But alternatively, now we have bombs.
True, if she opts to get them. And she's now returning to Windfall. Oh, Maggie's letter with nothing.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, I didn't think about it. It is so annoying that Cliff Plateau is foolish and Bomb Island is dead.
Yeah,
Because,
getting those
like,
checks is the worst.
Yeah, like the only convenient way you have to get those bombs is through doing bird speak first, which you really want grapple for. But with these dungeons, that grapple can basically be anywhere. So
Top of waterfall, private oasis. That's what I say. That's where the grapple is.
Also, yep, Pompey and Vera dead. That Maggie's letter led to nothing.
I mean, if you're really desperate, you could store the lookout platform at Cliff Plateau and then bring that break into BPR and then into Thorned. I don't think that's the worst, especially if you're like, I don't have grapple and I still need those bombs really badly.
Yeah.
But it's definitely these settings get a lot more awkward when Cliff Plat is hinted dead for early game plans, since most runners' early game plans involve using Cliff Plat to do other things.
Yeah. It makes it awkward, but also in that way it makes it really interesting too. You know, the routing is not just static, it becomes very dynamic.
Crystal putting a barrier in the path as Mr. Mario picks up that skull hammer, just giving us more items on the sea for FF. That's just our path to FF at that point.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't have to assume anything else when you find that hammer there.
Mila barreling through that pot.
She's just gotta get her theft in.
True. Oh, and Mr. Mario's also going to pick up the iron boots while he is here.
Getting also dangerously close to a lot of Wind Temple being in logic.
It is true. I think literally all they need is Command Melody.
Yeah, Command Melody and 9 out of 13 checks in Wind Temple shoot into logic. And that's always in these kind of seeds where you're in this scenario, you're hoping to find Hookshot before Command Melody, because as soon as Hookshot can be in Wind Temple, you're like, when do I go? When do I go? When do I go?
To which the answer is always the opposite of what you do.
The answer is always you put it off until it's all you have left, and then it's just in the first check of Wind Temple. Yep.
Or alternatively, you say, you know what, I'm not going to get burned by that today, and it's just sitting on, Giga Outset Fairy.
Gold, I was talking about Hookshot in Wind Temple. But yeah, we are at the point with Nehru's Pearl path to Wind Temple. Either Command Melody or Hookshot have to be in Tower of the Gods. Or behind in some manner.
Yeah. I'm feeling personally that it's probably going to be Command Melody.
I hope so. That's always the annoying one to find in Tower of the Gods.
Well, actually, hold on. No, because my logic no longer holds up, because I was thinking of the magic being path. But what you call it? I mean, that's still technically possible, but it's much more likely that it's just the hammer being path.
I think either Hookshot or Command Melody, are pretty decently. I say are 100%. One of them is behind or in Tot G, but I don't think it's more likely to be this one. Maybe it's a little more likely to be Hookshot just because you need Command Melody for a few checks in Tot G. Not that many.
Also, this is
majority of Tot G. Yeah.
This is super annoying for Crystal, by the way, because Crystal got done going all the way up the windmill, went into Lenzo's, took the picture, came out, now has to go back to the mailbox to mail the letter. We'll have to walk back up. That's annoying.
Overworld dungeon. But Mr. Mario is gonna just rush to those bombs. He sailed all the way here from Tower of the Gods.
If I can be honest with you, I think I would have too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. It's so awkward to get this check.
And some people may, rank things a little differently, but I think that bombs are probably the second most useful item. That's not leaf.
Oh, I'd say bombs are the second most useful behind leaf.
I think that's what I said, wasn't it?
You said second most useful that's not leaf.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, my ranking would go leaf and then bombs is what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from there it would probably go bow and then hookshot.
I think bow has some wiggle room there based on how many bows you have.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like especially if you're like still on hero's sword, bow suddenly becomes outstanding at any tier.
I also just think that it is the best ranged weapon, no doubt. Sorry, Boomerang, my beloved, it's true.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't really have any competition in this game.
And I mean, even for combat, like, for a fair amount of enemies, I would prefer to use regular arrows over fire and ice. Like, any Wizrobe, I am using regular arrows.
I think it depends on the combat specifically.
Well, yeah, like, if it's a Dark Knight or a Moblin, then, that's a little different.
I also think even for some regular Wizrobes, like, the more important it is to keep them from summoning, Ice Arrow into Fire Arrow is probably just a safer play. Like, for example, I'm thinking, like, Wind Temple mini-boss.
Yeah. Pretty well synced, I would say so. I mean, it is not very surprising to see the two of them kind of, like, following each other's footsteps a little bit. I mean, they've diverged a little bit now, but like they kind of finish up the same checks that each other was doing earlier.
What's interesting here from Crystal coming to Forest Haven. So we know the small island is hinted as a Tingle statue, but she only has one. So do you think she's going to grab that Tingle statue on this trip, or just assume maybe she'll never find the other three?
Amazing question. I'm going to be real. I am of the opinion that, like, if you are committed to this, like, if you're up here, you should probably just do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty torn. Meanwhile, MrMario Greatfish fighting that Mirror Shield. I like this play. He gets to do the trading quest. He can go grab Islet of Steel as well. He can't quite do any of Needle Rock yet, but who knows? Maybe he'll find a bow and Islet and get lucky. Or he can just come back later. He still has Diamond Step to do. He still has stuff around Needle Rock to do later. But meanwhile, he has to do this. Oh, and Bait Bag up on top of Tree Branch.
Thanks, I hate it. Although that does put Big Pig into logic.
Big Pig, the fairy. Well, it has been in logic, but, she's there too.
But then top of Headstone as well, because I don't think that was... Headstone was not hinted foolish, so it's an option.
And I think Crystal's going to be storing that lookout platform. She's grabbing storage here on Forest Haven in a really obnoxious storage spot.
True. Also, Mr. Mario is picking up that Thorn Fairy that Western Fairy that he couldn't swim to earlier.
True. So instead of opting to go for Islet of Steel, he's going to Western Fairy. Also makes sense.
Yep. I mean, you can route in Islet with other things later.
Or if it's dead, he, I believe, had to save to get his boat back since he
that's also true.
So when it's dead, we know it's dead. He could also just soft reset to be back at Greatfish and to go to Islet. That's also a possibility.
All right, Crystal
I definitely
got that
hate
storage.
To see it. Yeah, and she got that storage, and hopefully now she does not break with her Wind Waker to get at this lookout platform.
True.
It's
Fingers
definitely
crossed.
a mistake I have made. Whenever I do this kind of play, I take Wind Waker off of my buttons so I don't do it. But she's a smarter person than me, so she doesn't break with the Wind Waker.
Does not look like Mr. Mario is going to save Scum this. Also, Crystal was not given too much trouble with that lookout platform. I'll be honest, if I can avoid it, I try to not use that lookout platform unless I have hookshot. Because the amount of times that those Wizrobes have just gotten me while I'm climbing the ladder.
Oh yeah,
and then you just get stun locked.
they'll never hit that ladder on their first path because they spawn while you're at the boat. But if you're like a little bit slow getting to and climbing that ladder, they will knock you off.
Yeah, 100%. And we're going to see our first dungeon dip here.
Yeah, we're going to see some TWWR here from Mr. Mario. What if we've spent all this time wondering, like, oh, is it hookshot or command melody? What if they're just both in here?
I mean, it's definitely possible. And it would make me kind of sad because I would love to, know.
But we will see BPR from Crystal, something we have not seen yet from Mr. Mario, who opted to just rush those hinted bombs. I don't hate the play. And look at that. He could never go to BPR and it'll be fine. Oh, God. Tingle statues.
Number 2.
All right. There's 2 more in the wild somewhere. We have to see if either runner finds them.
I mean, who knows? Maybe that's our path.
Oh, God. Why would you say something like that?
Because we want chat to win here.
What if, and hear me out, this would be some funky logic, but I don't think it would affect our runners too badly. It's 2 more Tingle statues pretty early on in TWWR for that 5th one at a small island at Forest Haven to command melody on ankle to hookshot deeper in TWWR.
That would honestly be really cool. Maybe not for the runners, but...
Yeah, that's the kind of logic that it technically is funky logic, but since, for these runners, they'll be able to clear TWWR without using command melody, it won't actually be annoying.
Yeah, exactly. It won't be bad at all. Also, both small keys down here.
Oh, that's so annoying.
I know. You just sit there and it's like, okay, well, hop across is either the big key or something, and I really like, or nothing. It's like,
well, and it's the kind of thing where if hop across is the big key, you'd rather just skip the big key. But if you can avoid skipping this big key, it's always so much nicer.
Yeah, exactly.
To me, at least, Hop Across and Wind Temple are both the dungeons where it's like, I know how to skip the big keys. It's not the hardest thing I do in the game, but it's so much more convenient if I don't have to care about doing that.
Exactly. Like, if I can just walk up, hit the A button, and walk through the door, that's so much easier.
Meanwhile, Jalhalla, sometimes I have the big key and still skip it out of reflex.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to say free, because sometimes, it can mess with people. And I've seen people, even top runners, fail it. But, as you get it into your muscle memory, it was it becomes a lot easier, and it becomes really quick.
Mr. Mario just barely not getting zapped by that Beamos. That was close, but cool. It was like a montage moment. Singed the back of Link's hat.
And yeah, BPR was absolutely nothing. Also, I like the color of that choo-choo.
Oh,
kind
God.
of light blue, but not quite blue choo-choo color.
Choo-choos are some of the reason I don't like using randomized enemy colors.
I can understand that. Some of them just get really ugly. Oh.
Some of them get ugly, and also sometimes you'll be in a situation where 3 different color choo-choos spawn at once, and so if I'm not paying close enough attention, I'm like, wait, which one's which? Where are you? And it gets even worse when they swap colors.
Mm-hmm.
So you see reddish green choo-choos and greenish red choo-choos, and you're like, huh? Why is that red choo-choo in the ground? How did it do that?
So, we were talking about Soup not necessarily being very nice for TWWR, but Mario notably is out of magic right now.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't think he's gotten first Armos yet, has he?
No, he has not.
So he's pretty much at a position where he won't be using magic before the next guaranteed drop, which is the pot to the left of the second door you go through, that second wing. That pot is a guaranteed magic drop, so... You're right, the magic would be nicer to have than not from the Soup, but...
Mm-hmm. I definitely find that by the time you get to the third statue, though, you're like, you really want the magic to the point where it's like, man, do I put down the third statue and break the pot for the guaranteed drop, or do I just keep going?
For me, I find it depends on how much of floating platforms room you have to do.
Of course.
Ghost ship chart.
Another really mean potential path.
Yeah, another thing, it was like, is that what I need to get my stuff?
And I mean,
Maybe
notably, there's also the wallet. So.
Oh yeah, there is the wallet in here. Although I'm pretty sure that can't be the path specifically, just because of the way hints work.
Really?
I'm pretty sure if something is hinted, it's not what the path hint was.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I figured it would be like because it was the item outside that was specifically path, anything that it could lead to.
Oh, that's a good point. The path was for Nehru's Pearl, not Tower of the Gods. That is a good point.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Xenu's actually right here. Yeah, the path hint was Nehru's was Path to Wind Temple. That's true. That's a good.
Yep.
That was a good catch. We were just thinking too far ahead and tried to get too big brain.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it. Because it's not for Tachi. It is specifically for the Nehru's that was on Northern Ferry.
What Northern Ferry? That's the right direction. Bring back the compass argument.
Yeah, the good old which way do you turn your compass?
All right, so here's the worst one. Mini boss with the wallet, that ghost ship on First Armos. Those are both the other two Tingle statues, and then we still have Anko with Command Melody to hookshot deeper in Tot G. That's the funky logic. Oh no, Crystal.
Mm-hmm. Also, something important to note is that we are running out of Command Melody lock checks, and we still have not found that yet.
That is true. Except we've found now at least one thing pre-Command Melody that could lead to Command Melody.
Exactly. And I mean, Hop Across or Dark Nut Mini Boss can still do that as well.
That's true.
But it is just important to, keep in the back of your mind whenever you're going through your hints, like, has this been fulfilled yet? No? What do I need?
Yeah. And sometimes that's harder to do than others. That's why I always like Wacky Logic, because that's when it gets hard.
Yep. It is why I've been so addicted to mixed pools the last month-ish.
Yeah, but then mixed pools, you get like, this item is Path to Kali Demos, and it's like, oh, it's for the boomerang, and Kali Demos just is at Cliff Platts.
That is true.
Well, it's like the only item that's Path to Kali Demos is the boomerang.
Yeah, Mr. Mario did shoot down the bubbles and then went into the mini boss room.
They're still having some more trouble with these platforms.
Yep. All right.
Cycles are unforgiving.
I guess that Koala and I have to take the soup thing back.
Oh yeah, she did get some use out of that soup. That's true.
Yeah, Xenu. It would be really cool to see. Currently, very unlikely, but would be cool to see. Dark Nut Mini Boss does have something.
Dark Nut giving us the wallet, maybe?
Look at that.
Oh my god, my nightmare scenario exists still.
Or it's just going to be the exact same thing as we were talking about the hammer, and it's just going to be Command Melody on Hop Across.
Yeah, that's all. That could be true. That's not as annoying as the hammer possibility, though, because of where bombs were.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we knew bombs were there.
So that wallet's not Command Melody locked because you have the bow.
Yeah, that is the last check in this dungeon that is potentially not Command Melody locked. And yeah, their bow was in logic, so it is not Command Melody locked.
Yeah, and yeah, you've got it, Jam. It's the Armo statue. if you shoot the platform and then carry that over, you can put that on the Switch. Or you can just not do that, as our runners are doing, and just skip the command melody.
Exactly. Command melody in this dungeon is more of a suggestion. Unfortunately, they also have Wind Temple, where command melody is in fact a requirement.
Yep. Really, if you think about it, command melody is just kind of the mobile ads where it's just the like, Tatji is the level 1 crook, and then Wind Temple is the level 50.
Hot single statues in your area.
That too.
Oh, Crystal going with
Yo.
setup. Deluxe Picto. Wow.
Also, morning to my DK64 Randomizer crew. Shoutouts to DK64Randomizer.com.
When are we going to get a DK model for Wind Waker Rando?
I would love that.
I want... I want Chunky Kong.
Honestly, that would be amazing. Yeah, Tachi's kind of popping off because there's something up here.
And maybe this... Hold on, if this is Hookshot, though, then my nightmare scenario of, like, what if it's just for Tingle statues that lead to command melody on ankle? And then Hookshot's even deeper in Taji. It's just a hilarious path hint. Oh.
Okay. I mean, needed.
And there's still one more chest. Notably, I don't think we have the big key yet, do we?
We do, yeah.
We do? Where was it? Was it Stone Tablet?
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Stone Tablet.
BK was Stone Tablet? Alright.
And
the keys.
Claire Malding at this moment, getting ready to kill these keys every single time. Statue also going for a little swim there.
Oh, getting the small magic from that pot. That's unfortunate. You always hope for the big magic there.
You definitely do. But it also, I don't know, maybe it's just confirmation bias, but I feel like I get small magic way more than I do big magic.
I feel like I get big magic more when we only have single magic, and I get small magic more when we have double magic. But that's also just confirmation bias.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just saw Claire check Fire Mountain Foolish and say good. Unbelievable. Oh, that bubble.
My gosh, that was sick.
That was such... She rode that line. Meanwhile, you know, we're eating our words again about magic and Taji.
I know.
Mario. Luckily, the Keys were dead this time, I think. I don't see them anywhere.
I think they were still alive, and I think they actually gave Mr. Mario some trouble, because he actually dropped into the water.
He did, but I think that's because he ran out of magic.
Oh, it was that,
yeah.
But... yeah, there's still some keys here.
Damn. Oh, no!
He was going for the magic refill, and the key said, "Nuh-uh, not in my house." This room reminding us that Boomerang is a wonderful item.
Oh, the Keys now giving Crystal some trouble as our runners hold hands in the Scales of Justice room. The
True.
justice is what we deliver onto the Keys when we kill them.
Deserved in every way.
But that is going to be the third statue here for Mr. Mario. All that's left is that one big key chest, and then Godin.
And then we sleep.
That's like half of Wind Waker's bosses, though. I love Wind Waker. I have so much fun playing the game. Half of the bosses are cutscenes.
It is true. Like, but at least, like, you know, Goma is just, it is literally just a cutscene. But like Godin, you sit there and it's like this cutscene could have been over 10 minutes ago if L targeting just, worked.
How also, how mean are we? How many hand respawns do you think we're gonna see today?
We've got normal bow. Unless this, of course, has our fire and ice. I'm gonna go with 3 for Mario.
Ooh.
And 7 for Crystal.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you?
I'm just feeling spicy, man.
I will say, I always feel like actually using normal bow gets me fewer hand respawns.
I was thinking of the same thing, but I was like, but technically, it should mean more.
So you want to see 10... Mr. Mario also super low on HP.
So long as he makes it through the Armos in here, he should be okay.
This is a place where it's really easy to take 2 bits of damage. You usually plan on taking 1, and then like there's another Armos up there. The Kargarok could be mean. There's that damage boost, so he's at a quarter heart.
All right, he made it.
Whew.
Oh, but he didn't take the arrow refill though. He was at 12 arrows.
He heard you say he's gonna get 3 hand respawns, so it doesn't matter. He's got to get snot
That's
arrows
true.
Anyway.
Look, I really just wanted to condemn Crystal to something even worse. Just make Trez proud.
He's gonna have to get so many snot arrows.
Yeah.
He has 2 arrows left, 1 more shot on this first phase of Godin. But that is critically not enough. Now, luckily, he should hopefully be able to hit one of the hands once. Because the hands respawn when you get snot arrows, but if they're hurt but not dead, they don't heal. Yeah. I have no idea if he hit a hand or not. I don't think he did. So yeah, you could potentially maximize your arrow output by making sure your last arrows are hitting but not killing the hands before you get snot arrows. That way they don't respawn back to full HP and instead just exist at half HP.
Yeah, it is a good strat to do.
It's one of those nightmare optimizations for Godin where you ideally never get snot arrows because you just have enough arrows and the fight's not mean enough to you. I don't think I've seen any hand respawns outside of snot arrows, which guarantee hand respawns. But...
Yeah, I was going to make that joke earlier, but he got none. He made it through.
Very good.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, his hand phases, especially that last one, they were pretty good. They were super clean.
Yeah. But critically, we have 1 check left in this dungeon. Hop across floating boxes. We know it's not a key. Is that what resolves our Nehru's Pearl path to Wind Temple?
Yeah, I think there's no world where you try to skip it here. I think you gotta go for it.
I mean, there's a world, and it's if you're crazy.
True.
And these runners might be wanting to play crazy. We don't know. But...
Bracket can do that. I've definitely played crazier in some of my bracket games.
That's true.
Don't talk about the fact that I lost some of them, but still.
It is always just an option.
You always have options. It is just your choice to find the best
Mario,
one.
Notably not save warping out, but taking the boss warp.
And turning right back around.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Turning right back around. All right, so he does want to check hop across. Usually the play, if you want to check hop across, is to just save warp out of Godin's boss arena instead of taking his warp. But sometimes you autopilot and take the warp. I've definitely done that before.
I have too. And not only that, but in the grand scheme of time loss, that's really not going to be too much.
It's a few seconds difference.
Yeah, like what, 5 maybe?
Maybe. I did not even realize that's how Uter works.
Yeah,
That's news to me.
Yeah, in Uter you have to enter the warp to get your medallions or stones. But with how it works for us, we have to get the Triforce shard that is put on their heart container, which works at the end of the day.
The one that Godin sneezed out for us there.
Mm-hmm. But it also does feel a little sad because, you know, I would love to have seeds where in race mode you have to beat a certain boss to get an item, and you have to do your bosses in a certain order.
You know, one of my favorite things that can happen, but we never see it because we always have race mode on, is when you kill Godin and he has like a rupee or a spoil or something. And when he sneezes it out and it goes all the way back to like the door. It just flies.
It is the best thing.
All right, but here's Hop Across. Are we gonna see?
It is spiky.
It is spiky. Oh my god.
That's just BM, man. Are you kidding me? All right, so it is either behind Ankle or behind that wallet.
Or Ghost Ship Chart.
Or Ghost Ship Chart. Right. Forgot about that one.
That is some obnoxious pattern. Also, notably, we still don't have command melody. And there's not... I mean, there's a good handful of stuff that's just illogic in the world now that I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
We got Deluxe Picto 2, that's true. But since one of the potential items is command melody and that Deluxe Picto was command melody locked.
Yep. Yeah, it was in the second Armos room.
So it could be like hookshot on Manenko, at which point, where's command melody? But since command melody still exists as an option for that path, it's that one's a little more locked down, just barely. Nothing on wallet mail. All right, Manenko's looking better.
Yes, Arrow Marrow is dead with... Oh, wait, is it? Oh my god, it actually is
just the hook shot. Where's command... Actually, you know, funnily enough, command melody still just could be behind Ghost Ship Chart in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Or on Ankle.
Well, I mean, actually, it could also just be right there. I was about to say... Yeah, because here's the thing. Because the hook shot was locked behind the second part of Tot G, that command melody could now just be anywhere that's not locked back there. So
yeah, but to be fair, that's still most of what it was before anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, go do Wind Temple. It is time.
That's true. It would be awkward to go Wind Temple now, though, although that looks like where he's going. Just because it's like, he still has no soup.
We just got command melody on Zunari, Alex.
He still has no soup, and he still only has Hero's Bow. So some of the combat in Wind Temple might be a little bit more horrific. Although we do know there's a sword on 7 Armos.
Yep. And I mean, it's also important to note at this point that, you know, maybe both bows are in here, or one bow is in here and the other one is locked in the overworld. There's a fair chance that there's stuff in here that will lock things in the overworld.
That's true.
So I really don't think this is an awful play by any means.
I don't. I just, I would wish I had soup or fire and ice going in.
And that I do understand.
Especially, like, if left alcove is spiky and then the big key chest is something you want, like, that fight gets way more awkward with Hero's Sword, no soup.
Yeah, that is very true. We love this was robe.
There's Crystal getting that second bottle there.
You know, we still have not seen the grappling hook yet.
Still haven't. Well, my prediction was still top of Private Oasis. Top of Waterfall.
Yeah, well, I hate your prediction, so I'm going to choose to ignore it.
In this seed, that's the most obnoxious spot it could be, so that's why
easily
I went for it. Yeah.
Yeah. if any of the 4 items needed to logically get into Private Oasis is on Private Oasis Waterfall, that's just last location. You just never get it.
Yeah. And all we know, the grapple obviously can't be in Cabana, because that's locked by grapple, but we also know it can't be on Big Pig.
Very
or
true.
Needle Rock Chest.
We are also, speaking of Private Oasis, notably still missing an entire 2 items for it still, because we still don't know where that deed is. So
Cabana Deed and Grappling Hook. That could easily just be Cabana Deed at a foolish location, and you never have to go inside.
Yep. Also, we do have Crystal going back to Outset, so it's going to be a little bit before she goes to Wind Temple ultimately.
Yeah. Has Crystal done her trading quest yet?
I don't know.
She doesn't have that mirror shield, so I don't think she's been to Greatfish at all.
That is true.
All right, is she gonna make the pig angry, or is she gonna just side hop? She's gonna make it angry, which with a hero sword is super dangerous.
Yeah, I'm going to be real. I think friendship with making Pig angry has ended for me. He has killed me too many times now.
My friendship with making him angry with hero sword is dead. My master sword, I still don't care just because you're farther away. But hero sword, you're so close, sometimes he can just insta-kill you. But Crystal, not getting insta-killed by the pig, who will do 3 hearts of damage if he hits you like this. And meanwhile, Mario out of the most boring part of Wind Temple onto where there's chests again.
Yeah, for those of you that are not aware... Oh, that pig is going. That pig, he is just chonking his way.
The bait's gone. Oh, no! It's there. Oh, God.
But, what you call it? With the new dungeon secrets on the current dev build, it does at least make that little area a little nicer. Because going up and getting that secret stone head is actually kind of fun, in my opinion.
I agree. It's just that part of Wind Temple, you have to play Command Melody multiple times. There's not really anything to get there. It's several rooms of pretty boring.
Yeah,
but
and
he's
I
out
do
of
agree.
It. He found a key chest here in Cyclone's room. What will be? The big key. That's nice.
The big key?
Oh, God. No, but that's actually really nice, because now he knows he can skip one of the next 2 key chests he finds. Since this dungeon has 2 small keys, but it's pretty easily clearable with only 1. Oh, speak of the devil. Speak the devil, this is another small key. He's going to get bomb push storage here in order to store this chest to skip breaking the songstone with Makar. Oh, these P-hats are...
Oh, but the double.
Just little trolls.
Also, we are seeing Outset Fairy here from Crystal's side.
There gets his bomb push. Just gonna run right up that songstone. Having a little trouble getting down past it, though. Looks like, yeah, you want an ESS to get down it, not the... Oh, he popped out. Oh, that's not a bad item to find, though, from Outset Fairy, all things
Yeah, at
considered.
this point, absolutely not.
You don't... Quiver is that item that is not required for any of the settings we have in Logic, so it's not actually placed into Logic. But when you find it, you're like, oh, hell yeah. Looks like that was the other small key in there, maybe?
It's either the other small key or it was dead. It was definitely not spiky.
I'm surprised... If it was the other small key, I'm surprised he's opting to get it.
Doesn't look like he is.
Instead, he chose to void to get his small key, and instead of getting that one. He could have also just hookshot that chest through the grate with his chest storage. You go straight through it. And then
assuming that was the
small
other key, of
instead.
course.
Assuming, yeah. It looked like a small key to me, but I don't know. My eyes are bad.
Yeah, I definitely have commentary page eyes, so... Because for some reason, anytime I'm on comms, I seem significantly worse than when I'm playing.
Crystal trying to dupe her pair here. I didn't see what was on top of Headstone when she looked, but clearly it's something she wants. No swords yet. We do know there's a sword in Wind Temple at the chest behind 7 Armos room, which fairly likely that's just the next thing Mr. Mario gets. Oh god, it was a Tingle statue up here.
Is that... That's all 5 if she goes to Small Island.
Yeah, that is also, including Small Island, 3 of our Tingle statues grapple locked, so where's that grapple?
I also believe that top of hub looked spiky to me, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, only getting 1. This is another room. This is this strat he's doing is possible with Hero Sword, but it's significantly harder. If you have the Master Sword is longer than the Hero Sword, so those spins go further. So yeah, he got most of them. He got 4 of the 7 with those spin strats, but ooh, that was a nice spin though, getting all 3.
Yeah, we take those. Alright, so Mr. Mario is going to be our first person with sword percent.
And we're going to see our ghost ship here from Crystal.
Well, not sword percent, but has a first sword percent.
Master
there we go.
Sword.
Yeah.
Master Sword get achievement unlocked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, happy hour 10-minute sword.
And it is a spiky chest here in Ghost Ship. This is just a shard.
Yep, that is required. So notably, Mr. Mario will have to do it at some point. But, I mean, we kind of had it figured out at this point that I think Mr. Mario knows he's going to have to do some overworld after this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no way there was enough in Wind Temple to sustain... I don't know why I said sustain. To get him go mode.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when he entered, he was 2 bows and 3 swords from go. That pretty very
and all
unlikely.
The shards. And all his shards.
And yeah, not to mention shards. Also, yep, it is looking like it was the other small key in the big key room.
Yeah, it had to have been at this point.
Yep, so what you said holds weight.
So he will have to skip this small key door.
Yep,
as the
like
other small key door is non-skippable.
But the P-hat with the steel chair!
Oh, P-hats. Everyone hates him. Crystal having to break into Diamond Step using the Octo since she still has not returned to Windfall to get that hook shot on her deluxe Picto Box check.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it was Xenu. I had commentary page eyes. But this will be the last check in Wind Temple for Mr. Mario.
True.
So, and honestly, with a bow, this fight really is not that bad.
Yeah.
Oh, and that was a very generous spawn by that Wizrobe.
Oh, unfortunately didn't quite get the kill on it, but he has the bow to do a little bit more damage. And there goes the Wizrobe.
Yep.
That's the most annoying one. You can kite this Dark Nut forever as you deal with his parent Wizrobe. Instead of opting to kill the Dark Nut first, I guess makes sense if you don't kill the Wizrobe in one try. It just makes the Wizrobe spawn faster.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's Fire Ice.
Ice there for Crystal. That's going to be really nice to have for Wind Temple.
Yeah. Oh, but we've got a Spiky here.
Ooh.
So, no matter what, assuming this is a required item, it is very likely that Crystal is going to have to full clear this area. And that's another sword.
Another sword. Crystal with Fire Ice, but opting... Oh, she hasn't done Great Fish yet. Of course, that's why she's not going to Needle Rock right now.
Yep, she's going to do Great Fish to Eyelet to Needle.
Yeah.
So at this point, Mr. Mario has more technical progression done, but depending on his route in the overworld, that'll really decide things. This is still very even, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's kind of Mr. Mario now just has more of this dungeon done, whereas Crystal's doing a lot more overworldy stuff that he hasn't gotten around to yet. She'll also be able to get all her windfall checks. So if there's a shard or another sword or, that bow on windfall, he's going to have to return to windfall again anyway.
Yep.
So I'd say it's pretty even. But, again, it all just depends where those items are. Maybe getting those 2 swords earlier will help him out.
Mm-hmm. The big thing that I will say matters here is Crystal had significantly less to do, and as such, like in the overworld with the way she routed, and as such, was able to get that ghost ship. Ghost ship could be very awkward to route depending on where it is for Mr. Mario.
Oh, for sure. Once it gets to Bomb Island on the 3rd night, it's not going to be at a convenient space again until Greatfish, which there's no way he's going all the way to Greatfish.
Exactly. Now, if it's at Diamond Step, then it's not as bad.
Yeah, that's because Diamond Step's the night right before Bomb. So,
So ET is not in the seed.
Yeah, they do not have to do ET at all. It is not one of our race mode dungeons. So,
yep, the only 3 that they have to do are Tatji, which both of them have done, Forsaken Fortress, which is hinted barren, so all they have to do is go fight the bird, and then Wind Temple, which Mr. Mario is just about to finish up here.
Exactly.
Get your cat jams ready in chat.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see a wait on killing Helmrock until they are otherwise in go mode.
I would agree.
Or at least until they have gotten letter from Baito's mother, because since they know Arrowmail will be dead with Forsaken Fortress Foolish, if you need to get other mail after killing Helmrock, that's just lost time on those mail checks.
Yep, 100%.
Yo, the first person snipe on Mulgara?
You'll love to see it. Now, notably, even with all the overworld we've seen, and with all of Wind Temple, still, we do not have grapple.
Top of Waterfall Private Oasis. I am telling you, Tuba. There is nowhere else for that grapple to be. That's just actually, honestly, that grapple's pretty locked right now.
Yeah, like...
It might just have to be there, or it could be top of Angular, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we haven't seen Angular. We also haven't seen anything that's Fire Ice locked.
But Fire Ice is currently grapple locked. Well, actually, no, that's just not true. Fire Ice is not grapple locked.
Yeah, it's
the bait bag chest is grapple locked.
That is true. Yep.
For some reason in my head, I was still thinking that Command Melody was grapple locked. It wasn't. No, I just made that up.
Making it up is cool whenever it's a good story.
That's Mulgara down though for Mr. Mario, so that is another boss dead. Notably, there we did see a Spiky at Rock chest. So,
but that's bait bag locked, so it's not going to be our grapple.
It's not, but we're still missing a bow. We're missing one more sword. I think we're missing one shard still.
Yep, that sounds right to me.
So there's a few things it could be. We're missing 2 bottles that neither runner wants to find.
True.
There's also, a Cabana Deed. 2 more letters exist. There's so much it could be. Actually, I think I just named everything. Oh no, double magic and a wallet. Okay, I've named everything it could be.
Yep, true. That last torch was giving Crystal some issues, but getting rewarded with another spike chest.
Island, yeah.
I mean, honestly, the second... if Ghost Ship is on Diamond Step, there's lights. If it's on... Yeah. Like, if that is on Diamond Step for Mr. Mario, this is going to be, like, crazy god routed for just... You go to Diamond Step, get your Fire and Ice, get your Ghost Ship, for that shard. Then you go up to Needle Rock, you get a Command Deed. I suppose that's not as good, but you get the lights off of that too. Like, that could end up being really good.
Yeah, and I am telling you, it is grapple top of waterfall. I feel it in
Oh.
my old bones.
Mm-hmm. So Mr. Mario is opting to fight Phantom Ganon here. This is definitely an option. But in a Baron situation, personally, I would rather just do the glitchless strats.
As one of our newer runners, as Mr. Mario, I think started running with mini blends.
Yep, he did.
I say I think. I don't know if he like played around with Wind Waker a little bit like last year or something. I'm not 100% sure, but I know he played a lot starting with mini blends earlier this year. He might not just know some of the more niche Forsaken Fortress strategies.
And that is perfectly okay.
They definitely don't come up all that often.
Mm-hmm. And once again, we're talking about like seconds of difference. Like, maybe more than 5 this time. I think it's closer to like 20. But that's not like a full minute, you know?
Grapple.
Hey, Grapple.
That is on
Looky
Southern
there.
Ferry.
Oh, yeah. I guess we haven't had... Well, I guess that was kind of locked behind those bombs for a while, huh?
Yeah. And I can see why Crystal wanted to wait to do that until after having Fire Ice so she could come over to Ice Ring right after.
Yep, absolutely.
Because notably, Crystal still has not gotten that Command Melody or Hookshot, which we know both of which are on Windfall.
Yep. I really think Crystal is going to put Windfall, like, absolutely last if she can, just so that if she does get everything for Wind Temple, she can just route it in there.
Yeah.
Because I understand how that thought process goes, because I think very similarly.
She is in a position right now, though, where the only thing she's missing for Windfall at this point to be like everything in logic is Moblin's Letter, and Moblin's Letter is an item that could just be at a Baron location.
Yep, it is true.
So she's at a point where she's like gambling whether or not, you know, she'll even find an item she's looking for before going to an island that has like 6 checks or something for her.
Yeah, it is very true. But it could also be the I just don't want to do an extra warp kind of gambit.
And notably, if she is keeping track of her hint logic, she still has an unresolved Nehru's Pearl to Mulgara hint. We know it was for that hookshot on Manenko, but she should know something on Windfall at this point, most likely. It is Path to Mulgara.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's got 2 choices. The first one is going to be that Picto to Manenko. The second one is going to be Ankle.
That's true. That's true.
Because she's already checked the ghost ship, so I could definitely see... Oh, nice Spiky.
Spiky here.
So I could definitely see this turning into a go get that statue before going to Windfall. If she's really trying to wait until she can do Wind Temple to save warps.
What do we think is here? Last shard, last sword?
I'm going to say sword.
Okay.
Or that. Bummer.
Well, I'll count it. If Baito's mom has a sword, I'll count it.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that note to mom will be a nice little bit of time save for Crystal. Because Mr. Mario is here inside of Helmarock before having found that, so he will have
he even gets it.
True, that is true.
And yeah, so if she can find that shard and sword in the overworld, which is somewhere in the overworld, like it has to be. Did Mario softlock?
Yeah, I think so. This very well might be what happened to me in the mixed pools race, where you canceled the storage a little too early.
Oh no.
Yeah, I would imagine that's probably what happened here.
Yeah, so Mario has soft locked in Helm Rock, which on this build of the randomizer is still a thing that happens.
Yep.
In the updated builds that are not pushed to like final release yet, a lot of these soft locks have been patched out, but unfortunately, he did get a soft lock there, so he will have to save warp and restart the fight from the beginning. But yeah, they're in an interesting position here where, you know, Crystal's last shard and her last sword have to be in the overworld somewhere. So she will find them, but she also, with where that second sword was in Wind Temple, she is going to have to full clear the dungeon pretty much.
Yeah. Like, really, this comes down to how Mr. Mario routes this overworld. Because if he finds all of the things that he needs and has a few more things left, he could get a lead over Crystal. But if he ends up clearing everything here, that Helm Rock softlock could be costly.
And it's also like, for example, if the shard and the sword are just in Cabana, then if Mr. Mario starts chasing his density, he'll probably find them pretty quick, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like Cabana and then Diamond Step Needle Rock, those are both, for as far as overworld goes at this point in a seed, those are both pretty dense.
Mm-hmm. And once again, it also does matter where his ghost ship is at this time.
That's true, since we do know that's going to be a shard.
Mm-hmm.
Although, you know, again speaking to potential Cabana plays, if ghost ship's at Bomb Island, it feels bad since Bomb Island was hinted foolish, but that's pretty close to Private Oasis, especially.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Yeah, if it's past Bomb Island, it sucks to get.
It also wouldn't be as bad because he also hasn't checked
Forest Haven.
Bird's Peak.
Oh, that too.
So he could go Cabana to Bomb Island, ghost ship to Bird's Peak if he really wanted to.
God, what if Ankle has something?
I think he might. I'm going to be real with you. I think he just might.
He might. And, like, notably, Bait Bag was top of Tree Branch, and then Big Pig and Headstone both had Tingle statues.
Mm-hmm.
What a frustrating... what a frustrating series of events. Especially frustrating because, you know, Crystal did a play I was contemplating about, which was...
Oh, Crystal doesn't have a hook.
Nope. Oh, there's something down there.
Time for the long crawl.
The Long Crawl. It's my favorite dystopian novel.
Yes.
And there's our last sword.
All right, so we are just one shard from Commentary No Mode.
Commentary No Mode. Where do we think that shard might be?
Ankle.
You know, we were just talking about, you know, fair play, good sir.
I mean, what else have we not seen yet? I don't think we've...
Fire Ice checks on Windfall.
Yep. Did we see the Note to Mom mail? I can't remember if Crystal checked it while on Cabana or not.
I am not sure if she got it. Just because I'm not sure what her day... I know it was night when she mailed it, and she obviously has played Song of Passing, but I don't know if it was too far into the night for her to get it or not. So there's Crystal gonna finally pick up her hook shot here.
It is immediately going to be greeted with a command melody.
Jump scared by it like we were.
Yep.
Oh god, that is... there's the potential nightmare here of Moblin turn-in. Like, Moblin's letter on Ankle and then Maggie Delivery having the shard.
Yeah, it is a very real possibility.
Also, I wouldn't be surprised necessarily if Crystal... Well, she might just go Wind Temple straight from here.
I'll be honest, I think she does.
That would make sense. I was going to say, based on how she's been clearing, it wouldn't surprise me if she full clears her overworld before going Wind Temple. But since she doesn't know that she doesn't know her second sword is in Wind Temple. It likely is, just based on how much she has left. But she knows there's a Tingle statue she has skipped at Forest Haven, and it could just be on Ankle, as far as she knows, that sword. So
Yeah.
even if she finds her shard here, oh well, there's Moblin's letter.
Well, there goes the nightmare scenario, I suppose. But
I guess
that
the shard
gives us
can
more.
still be on Ankle. Yeah.
Yeah, shard can still just be there. And if that's the case, then unfortunate. Pardon my yawning.
Yeah. Sleep. Tuba, wake up. We're out of Tachi.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. It's a Friday, and I got off teaching. It's getting late.
All right. The one thing I don't know if we've seen... Have we seen the letter from Baito's mom?
I don't remember it, but potentially.
I'm just not sure if she got it, because it might have been too late in her night cycle.
Mm-hmm.
We have? Oh. Okay, apparently we have.
Yep, but it does look like Crystal is going to go ahead and commit to this. This looks like she's sailing to Northern Ferry. I think she's meaning to go to Gale.
She is definitely sailing to Northern Ferry. Which
there we go. There we
now
go.
Realized.
Yep, that's a weird looking Gale Island over there. Gale Island, good for Gale Island. They've really committed to the weight loss program in the last little bit.
Gale Island's on keto. We do know the last statue is the small island at Forest Haven, which was hinted, and Crystal skipped it, which, is kind of a risky play. I get it, because when you have a hinted Tingle statue, especially when it's not a convenient chest to just grab on your way, you kind of are praying like, maybe one of my Tingle statues is foolish and Ankle has nothing. So, but yeah, it looks like at this point it has to be the shard on Ankle.
Yeah, I cannot think of anything else that is left.
Yeah, which is, again, really mean, since you want to skip that if you don't have all the Tingle statues anyway, and then 2 Tingle statues were bait bag locked with a bait bag on top of Tree Branch in Forest Haven. That's some wacky logic. I got what I wanted.
Oh. But yeah, so at this... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, that does mean I kind of think Mr. Mario is looking to be in a pretty good spot right now.
I think it's still pretty close, because keep in mind, Mr. Mario will have kind of some awkward routing things to do, considering he needs that bait bag. Because he did just leave outset.
You're not wrong. I don't disagree with you, but I'm just trying to think of it from a logistics perspective. Crystal has this whole dungeon, and then the Mulgara boss fight, and then the Helmrock boss fight, and all of that to do while Mr. Mario has to just clean up his overworld. It's not, settled yet. I still think it's fairly close, but I don't hate the position Mr. Mario is in right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's think about what Mr. Mario has to do. He's going to get his Fire Ice here, and then afterwards he's going to sail north and get his Light Arrows. Then what he needs from there, because unfortunately it turned day as he was coming here, so we know that the ghost ship will not be here.
He's going to get Light Arrows and Cabana Deed up here, which could easily push him to around Forest Haven, Cabana area and Ice Ring, which we know he has a sword inside Cabana. There's a shard in that. If he starts going there, he might just pick up that Tingle statue on his first try, which, assuming we're following the seed correctly, Crystal will have to go back for.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely in a position where I think it's a little tense right now.
Yeah. He does also have to visit Southern Ferry to get that grappling hook at some point.
That's true, but that could also, him being pushed to that area, especially with finding that Fire Ice and stuff, might...
Yeah. I mean, really, it really just depends on how much extra he ends up doing. Because I imagine once he gets the statue on Big Pig, he's not going to, even if it's his last statue, I don't see him immediately bouncing to ankle in favor of top of headstone. So there's definitely, and then he's still got some bait
top of
like PPR
headstone
and stuff.
is a statue, so if he hasn't done
I
top
knew
of
that.
headstone, then it's impossible. But if his last two statues are Big Pig top of headstone, I could easily see going straight to Tingle Island there.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I forgot that was another statue.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if Big Pig's his last statue, I also don't think he'll go see top of headstone, but for kind of a different reason.
Yeah, very true. But yeah, ghost ship pattern is the one thing that I'm concerned about here for Mario.
But like we said, if it's Bomb Island, that's still convenient enough. As soon as it's past Bomb Island for him this seed, it's never going to be convenient for him to route.
Exactly. And I'm not sure where his cycle is right now, so I couldn't tell you which one.
Honestly, me neither. Welcome on in, Raiders from Tanjo3.
Yo, GG's. Race is very interesting so far. So we know that Crystal has to clear all of this dungeon.
Oh, Crystal.
Ooh. Oh my gosh, that was
just
so
barely
close.
made it.
Oh, you know what? There's an aspect I'm not thinking of, and that is Crystal still has to do Helmarock.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. She has this dungeon, the boss, and then also Helmrock. So, that's a lot of dungeon time that Crystal just has ahead of her.
Yeah, that is true.
That Mr. Mario already has. So he could very easily find a route in this way, and I think like a route that's not insane,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he could pretty easily find a route that gets him go mode and skips some of the overworld that Crystal has already done.
Yeah. Now, if he ends up full clearing his overworld, where do we think we're at? Do we think it's just a tied game?
Yeah, I think
maybe Crystal's slightly ahead.
Maybe. I think. I mean, if he full clears his overworld at this point, it could be Crystal's ahead by that Helmrock softlock.
That is exactly the thought process I was having, because not only was the Helmarock softlock a thing, but it did take Mr. Mario a minute to commit to resetting.
But being ahead potentially by one Helmrock softlock before you've done Helmrock, I say is not a lead.
Yeah, it is true. And yeah, we did see a Helmrock softlock today. God bless Lago for helping us poor runners out in the future.
Fixing most, if not all of them.
Yep.
In future builds. It's an interesting suggestion.
Yeah, Tanjo, I appreciate a fair amount of that message.
I think we will put up a vote for it and let everyone know, and everyone can decide what they think.
Yep. And we will let everyone know that Tanjo has already decided. All right, so Mr. Mario is here at Southern, so he will be getting that needed grapple hook.
Yep. Which, that could also just push him to Cabana from Southern.
Honestly, yeah, it could. Well, actually, it probably will. Actually, because keep in mind, he still has, I believe, both Ice Ring and Angular, and he still has all the Forest Haven stuff.
But so he could easily go Southern, Cabana, Ice Ring, Angular, Forest Haven, Bird's Peak.
Okay, yeah, that is true. I was trying to cook a route where you go Ice Ring into Angular and then warp to Forest Haven from there.
That's all. I mean, I think that also works. It just gets a little bit more awkward splitting Cabana and Bird's Peak, but it's not that much different, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Well, he will be going to Angular, it looks like, I think. No, is that?
That looks like Ice Ring.
Yeah, that looks like Ice Ring to me. Oh, this was the other Wind Temple small key.
Oh. Well, then I guess nothing was in the big key chest.
Oh, redirected to Angular. Okay.
Okay.
We've had several redirects so far.
Ooh, Crystal not getting the Iron Boots grab.
Yep. Luckily, got it really early. So,
yeah, that's... If you're going to have to kill enemies down here, that might be the most convenient one, as those were actually red shoes. Despite their greenish color.
Yep.
They were red
And
shoes.
then-
They had no HP, and they never become impossible to hit with the sword.
Yep. And Crystal doing the correct strat there, where you, instead of pushing both blocks, you push one and then leaf to it.
Linkle boat is nightmare fuel. Well, luckily neither runner is playing Linkle. Aha, got you on a technicality. Take that. Sounds like someone's being a hater to me. What do you think, Tuba?
You know, I think I am in agreement.
All right, but we are going to see Crystal heading over to do her Wind Temple mini-boss. She will have lights for this fight, which will be very nice in contrast to Mario, who just had the normal bow.
Mm-hmm.
What a weird color for that Wizrobe.
Yeah.
He's so green. They're both so green. What the hell? Oh no, Crystal. Okay, she got it. No spawns, you're golden.
think we got another spawn.
No, that was the boss. And the Dark Knight was still alive, so...
Oh, yep, you're right. I thought I saw the little whimsical particle. That comes from a spawn.
No, I think that was just the fireball.
Yeah, it definitely was. I think it was just differently colored.
Yeah, the fireballs do get colored with randomized enemy colors, which is weird, but...
It is. Okay, so this is going to be Crystal's last sword. The only thing Crystal needs now is that that ankle shard.
Yeah, that...
But then, of course, she also needs to beat 2 bosses as well, so...
Yeah.
She's got a lot of gameplay left. Whereas Mr. Mario just has to clear through more checks.
Yeah, he still needs to get that sword. He hasn't quite gone to Forest Haven yet. I'm not sure where he's sailing. It's Cabana.
Yep.
So he will find his last sword in here, but then he's still missing Ghost Ship Shard, and then the shard that we've deduced has to be on ankle.
Yep. He is also missing that bait bag, which is on Forest Haven.
That's true, but he'll need to. He'll go that way, getting that Tingle statue on on ankles. So,
assuming he doesn't do exactly what Crystal did, which at this point I would be shocked.
Yeah, at this point he's getting very close to just last location in Forest Haven. Crystal having a lot of trouble finding the spot. It looks like she's aiming a little too high.
Yep.
And maybe a little too far to the right, even.
That was definitely too high.
That was definitely too high.
It can definitely be a little tricky, this shot, though.
Yeah.
That
was too far to the right.
Yep.
Which is weird, because you want to aim to the right, but that... I don't know what was wrong with that one. I didn't see it for long enough.
Yeah, I think that one was slightly too high, but
Okay.
not by too much.
Okay, she's got it. She just has to not get blasted by this fan, and she'll be good.
Easier said than done, honestly. Sometimes this fan can just ruin your day, especially when a
true.
P-hat decides to come say hi.
Oh, P-hats are the worst. flying enemies in Wind Waker will put the fear of God into you.
It is true. Also, Mr. Mario will get to save a little time in here having that hook shot.
True. One of our favorite strats, catches off a lot of people if we ever do glitchless.
Yes. Poor Claire.
But they're gonna get his last sword, so super close. Super close to go mode here for Mario. He just has to get that ghost ship and then somehow intuit that he needs to find Tingle statues, which can be anywhere.
At this point, both runners just have a fairly long chain that they have to follow.
Yeah, that's true.
And it does look like Ghost Ship was on Spectacle for Mr. Mario.
Oh, that's so obnoxious. It's not the worst because he has stuff to do on Windfall, but it's still obnoxious.
Well, he's going to do it right now.
Yeah.
So,
what I would have liked to see from Mr. Mario in this position is actually save at Windfall. All right, well, he remembered as he started sailing. Because then, if Ghost Ship is nothing, you could soft reset and just be back at Windfall.
yeah, absolutely.
That's one of those kind of gamble play. Because if it is something, you wasted time on the save. But if it's nothing, you get back to Windfall a little quicker. So.
Yep. All right. Get your cat jams in chat, and Xenu, get the sound on the cat jam.
You know, Mulgara's one of those bosses that I would think was boring if it wasn't for the music. When you think about it, there's so much waiting in Mulgara. But the music, you're just like sitting there like, yeah, I am gonna fight this boss.
I've always been sort of like, it's a good theme, but it's never been like crazy hype to me.
It's not my favorite in the game by far, but it does get you excited. It distracts you from how long you're waiting for this worm to spit up from the ground.
Okay, that is true.
No, my favorite is always the one we hear the least of, which is Helm Rock.
I agree. Helm Rock, like, slaps, dude.
If you fight Helm Rock in Wind Waker HD, ooh, that song's good.
Okay, the Majora's Mask Milk Bar is also a jam. I will give you that.
Who has an edge? At this point, it might be Crystal.
I'm gonna say Microsoft.
All right, it was fun doing comms with you too. I will see you later. Do not message me or my progeny ever again.
Helm slaps dudes. That is exactly what I basically said, huh? But yeah, the big thing is Crystal is done with Mulgara. So what Crystal needs to do now is do Helmarok into go get the statue into go get the shard on Tingle. Meanwhile, Mr. Mario needs to go find the bait bag on Forest Haven into go
Bait bag on Forest Haven, into the Tingle statue on Forest Haven, into the Tingle statue on Big Pig, into the Tingle statue on Headstone, into the Triforce shard on Ankle.
Yep.
Which is more things to do, but all of them are faster than doing Helm Rock. Like, individually, all of them are faster than doing Helm Rock.
Mm-hmm. And it is also important to note that Crystal has done everything and knows that at this point, the last shard is going to be on that, on Tingle.
But
Mr. Mario, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I also think at this point, they are caught up on Overworld. I think Mr. Mario is now caught up on Overworld with Crystal, because he got that ghost ship.
Close. Mr. Mario still has Bird's Peak.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that's cringe.
Yeah.
Well, but he can
So
get Bird Speak after Forest Haven, and she still has to do so. I think it's really close. I think we're looking at a high roll race.
yeah, I think so too. I still think that I think it's what we said earlier. I think Crystal's going to have a slight lead, and I think that lead is not going to be too much more than that Helmrock lock. So
Yeah, I think I agree. She might be about a Helmrock soft lock ahead of Mr. Mario right now.
because yeah, as we both have been saying, these runners have been playing really well. Like they've been neck and neck together this entire time. It has been a really good race to watch. Ooh,
Oh,
Crystal
dropped. Yeah, that's also her wind. I don't
Yeah,
like
the
this
wind was
wind
not
for this.
correct. Yeah.
I do northwest wind for this one.
Yeah, I do too. But
yeah, she pulled out her leaf too late because it wasn't equipped.
they say that an item at Northern Fairy Island is on the. Why are we talking to? Oh, she's probably. I don't know if she's put it together that. Okay, she probably sees that and is going, "Oh, son
Oh,
of a gun."
she think? Did she think? Was she like, oh, where's my? I'm out of locations.
Yeah, I'll bet you. I'll bet you that was a quick like. What did I do? Why is this like this?
Hopefully, she noticed that there's a Tingle statue there, and then she didn't get it.
I'll bet you she did. But that fall down that just happened here, that could give Mr. Mario enough time to make this like super close.
Yeah, and also like I said before, if we're estimating a Helmrock softlock ahead before you've done Helmrock, that might be nothing. Also, so when we said this is the strat we were saying Mr. Mario, we assumed just didn't necessarily know. And so he opted to fight Phantom Ganon instead, which is a little slower. But Crystal falling down there, I think now is actually, overall for her, slower than if she had just fought Phantom Ganon, like Mario did. Especially because Mario got that storage pretty quickly.
Yeah. Now, Mario did get rid of the mini blends, which did take a couple more seconds. But
yeah, but Crystal did fall down and then have to read hints again. And now she's going to have to drink soup again because she missed that leaf pump.
Yeah. I wonder if she's getting a little nervous. Because it is definitely not, like, bracket nerves are a real thing.
Oh, for sure.
Yep, we see Mr. Mario checking Bird's Peak here.
He didn't get that Tingle statue.
Oh.
That's really good for Crystal. Well, because I think Mr. Mario has the same thought here, where he's like, I don't want to get that Tingle statue that's hinted.
Oh, yep, that's true.
I only have 2, so they're probably just barren, and one of my bait bag checks has the sword, or the shard, rather.
Yeah, Mario and Crystal are missing the same shard. It is the shard that is on Ankle.
And neither of them have gotten their hinted Tingle statue on Forest Haven Small Island.
Yep. So at this point, Mr. Mario needs to go back to Forest Haven now to get that, which is going to cost him a bit of time. And he also needs to get the statues on Big Pig and Headstone. Yep.
But luckily for Mr. Mario, Big Pig into Headstone isn't that... Like, they're kind of on the same route, you know? You're gonna get both of them together. So he has to do that and then come back to Forest Haven to get that statue in the time it takes Crystal to finish up Helmrock and also then go back to Forest Haven to get that statue. And if she gets a Helmrock softlock, it is,
I would say if Crystal gets a softlock, it's tied.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do think Crystal has a lead here.
Although, I don't know, she has bled a lot of time in this FF.
She has, but I think the remainder of what she has for Helmrock is going to be faster than both Big Pig plus Headstone. Maybe it'll be close.
I think it's close. Because, like, Big Pig and Headstone individually aren't that long. Helmrock has a long cutscene. She still has to get lucky here. Okay, there's the bird. She did not soft lock.
Yep.
And Mr. Mario, I'm sure, going to be very annoyed as he sees more Tingle statues here. Ooh, having trouble getting the skew. That's good for Crystal.
Yeah, this is coming down to the wire, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I said it before, I said it again. I think we still just have a Hyrule race.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we also still have to do PG1.
Yep.
Yep, that is Helmarock down for Crystal, but still have to get through this cutscene, pick up the shard, and then do the giant long walk.
There's that obnoxious Tingle statue. Mr. Mario opting to run back to the boat on outset. Most runners will save warp in this position.
Matter of seconds, but for once, in this specific moment, I would say every second just might count.
Matter, yeah.
Yep, because Crystal booking it to Forest Haven, that is some of the fastest warp menuing I've seen.
So she's gonna be basically like at this point she's like a Forest Haven ahead of him.
Yeah, I think
maybe
so.
a Forest Haven and a half because he has to get to Headstone. But now what I want to see from Mr. Mario here is not even bothering to peek this, as this is his last location in Logic.
Yeah, he knows. He knows it's got to be something. He's just not going to be happy with what he sees.
This should make it for Crystal. At the very least, she should void from
that. She'll void.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Mr. Mario is very annoyed with that.
Whoa! Did you see how many hearts popped out of that grass?
That felt like PG luck whenever you're down a heart.
Oh my god, none of that grass wanted to give her magic.
Yeah. So Crystal is actually not even a full Forest Haven ahead here. And also, I think Mr. Mario is making the correct play here.
Yeah, opting to go for the this significantly more niche strat here.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a Hyrule race. They are so close right now. Instead of seeing when they go in Hyrule Warp, let's see when they open this chest. All right, Crystal opening it at 1:55:03 on our timer. Mr. Mario does not know the way to do it from down there.
Yeah,
all right, never mind. This is a bigger lead for Crystal.
Yeah. So if you use the grapple peg and you set the wind to south, you can launch yourself off of the grapple right outside of the entrance to Forest Haven and then just leap over from there. But no, at this point, honestly, it would have been faster to go back up through the top of Forest Haven, I think. Albeit maybe not by too much more, but...
I wonder if Mario knows how to do that strat.
Didn't he do that to get bait bag?
No, he climbed up Vanilla to get bait bag, didn't he?
I'm not sure.
I saw him dive under Forest Haven before this seed. Surely that must have been it.
He climbed Vanilla to get bait bag. Okay, I was not paying attention to that. Well, that makes a little more sense then.
So yeah, now based on when he opens... Remember, Crystal was 55:03, and Mr. Mario 1:55:26. So about a minute and 20 behind here on opening that chest. That's not the most solid lead going into Hyrule. That is a losable lead in Hyrule.
It is. Now, don't get me wrong. It is a solid lead. It's just
for sure.
It is just not like... It is not a lead that you can feel comfortable with. Like, if you knew.
That is a lead where you're pretty safe to RNG, but not safe to mistakes.
Yes. I would say that exactly.
Yeah. There's very little in Hyrule that could give you bad enough RNG to lose you a minute 20, but missing a couple shots on Puppet Ganon, you can start losing a lot of time, especially if your opponent doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, for a good example, like, if one person gets double crip and the other doesn't, then that gap suddenly just closed down to a minute, you know?
Oh, for sure. So yeah, a solid lead going into Hyrule for Crystal, but not a free win for her at this point by any means. So we will have to see how their Hyrules go.
Mm-hmm. And very important to note that they would basically be neck and neck if Helmarock did not soft lock.
I was going to say, also, that was going to be my next point. Mario about a minute and 20 behind on this Hyrule Warp as well, which a Helmarock soft lock is more than a minute 20, so he has made up some time on Crystal in that interim.
Mm-hmm. He's made up the time, but the truth is, that would have been like... It would have been like he would be like a minute ahead instead of Crystal being a minute ahead, which goes to show after almost 2 hours of playing, both of these runners have been like, they have been keeping up with each other.
Super close, yeah.
Yeah, both of these runners have been playing very well.
Ooh, I'm nervous. Puppet Ganon is the hard part of... I was going to say Hyrule. I think just Wind Waker.
Yeah,
it is
easily, like, I think Puppet Ganon really is, like, especially the fact that you have to do it every seed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Puppet Ganon is just a hard boss. Not super hard if you do it the way it's intended, but, you know, that's not the fast way.
I don't know. The less I've ever hit down his tail with the boomerang, the harder I find to hit it when it's on the ground.
I find it easier so long as you also, because if we're taking time out of the equation, like cutting down all of his arms and stuff too slows him down. So you don't want to just cut down his tail, you want to cut down every appendage, and he like moves at a snail's pace.
That's true.
But that's not what we do here. We don't
Another
do that
thing
here.
worth noting, you know, if Mario had gotten that Tingle statue his first trip there, which, again, I don't blame him for not getting that.
Oh, he wouldn't have had to climb up again.
Yeah, but again, I don't blame him. He only had 2 Tingle statues at that point, and you're thinking like, oh, you know, my Tingle statues are probably foolish.
Yeah, I think I would have as well. Did we get a Halley's Comet? I didn't notice.
I didn't see because I had to refresh my stream page, my comm page.
All right, PG1 starter for Crystal.
It's one shot. As my comm page resyncs, so I might have said that a little ahead.
Yeah, you definitely did. I was like, am I behind?
Oops.
So Halley's Comet is named after Wind Waker randomizer runner / any % no MSS runner, Halcyon Haley, who shot a light arrow up the stairs while trying to hit that Dark Nut, and it hit one of the moblins on the other stair. In addition to the moblin on the floor below, or sorry, the Dark Nut on the floor below. And we decided to, you know, celebrate her name. We called it Halley's Comet.
It was I saw her when she did that. Like I was watching her play that, and I don't think I've seen anyone do it since.
Yeah, it's super rare.
Also notably, she did not do it on purpose.
No, it was a complete accident.
It was cool though. But yeah, PG1 down for Crystal right before Mr. Mario is entering Puppet Ganon.
Oh, he's not. Oh no, he's gonna drink soup. Not even gonna refill on arrows.
He has 50, so.
Yeah, who needs them?
Yeah, there's PG2 here now starting for Crystal right as Mario starts PG1, so she's about a phase ahead of him. If he can get a slightly faster PG1 than her, that'll catch him up a little bit.
Yep, and Crystal did just miss that crypt shot, so anything is possible right now.
Yep. Ooh, Mario missing that second shot.
Yeah, Mario has missed several really close shots.
Oh, but that is a crypt for Crystal on to PG3.
Yep, we got a Crystal.
Crystal.
Why do you calm with me?
Oh my god.
All right, second shot for Mario.
It's worse as I asked you to calm with me.
It is true.
Oh, synchronized soup?
You love to see it.
That was
Let's
actually,
go.
I don't know how it looked on the stream, but on the commentary page, that was perfectly in sync.
Yeah, it looked really good for us.
That was awesome.
Yeah. And Mario did end up getting a spin cycle, but that was a nice shot.
That was sick. All right, but that's, Crystal doing PG3 here. She's one shot in, going for a Trog setup. Gets the Trog shot. Oh, that was clean. So her PG is down as Mr. Mario starts PG2. She has a lead, but rope climb and maybe some bad Ganon RNG could make this super, super close now.
Yep, especially if Mr. Mario ends up really clutching up here.
Ooh,
oh, so
it's the
close. That's still one.
Yeah. Just has to not get crushed by this third spinning phase for PG2, which is easier said than done sometimes.
Very true.
But doesn't get crushed, gets PG2 down. Crystal not jumping off the rope. That's very good for her.
Mm-hmm.
On to grapple skip.
Yeah, grapple skip can cause some issues sometimes, so we'll see.
Oh, she didn't get it.
Yep, but she paused, so she had enough reaction time to save herself to get back here instead of falling below the rope.
Mario also going for a Trog setup. Ooh, so close on that.
Yeah. All right, that is a completed grapple skip for Crystal.
And a Pog slide.
Yeah.
As Mr. Mario finishes PG3, so he's about a minute to two behind her right now.
Mm-hmm. I would say about a minute.
It's phase 1, Ganon down. She still has soup too. Phase 2 done.
Yep.
Zelda waking up from her nap.
And there we are.
There it is. GG.
GG to Crystal. Very, very close for both runners.
Super, super close. Yeah, I mean, at the end, she was mostly like a rope climb and Ganon ahead, which is super, super close. Very rarely so far in this tournament have we seen races quite this close. As Mr. Mario starting his Ganon fight, let's see him get a clean Ganon in. That should be phase 1 down. Yep, phase 1 down for Mario. Time for Zelda's nap. Ooh, nice jump slash. Phase 2 down for... Wow, she woke up fast.
Yeah.
That was a fast phase 2. She was ready to get back in the fight. And there it is. GG's to Mr. Mario. Super, super close race.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the way through. I mean, again, I really think the difference maker was just Mario got a little unlucky and got that Helm Rock soft lock.
Yeah. Truly, it was... And either way, it was well played on both sides.
Oh, for sure. And welcome on in, Crystal and Mario. GG's.
GG's. did not deserve that win, but she'll take it, I guess.
I mean,
is a win.
At the end of the day, yes, Halmarock softlocks are unfortunate, and God bless, our Lord and Savior Lago Lunatic for figuring out how to patch them out. But
I literally have no idea how that softlocked, by the way. Like, I landed right on the place and just waited, and he never came.
What I saw someone in chat say that might have happened is maybe you pulled the Wind Waker a little too early and canceled during the cutscene, and so the bird freaked out.
No, if you do that during the cutscene just pauses.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I definitely waited until the end of the cutscene.
He really just wanted. Sometimes Elmark just has to go save his people.
So what?
Yeah, Elmark just wanted Crystal to win. That's all.
Yeah.
What usually happens for those softlocks is Helmrock gets stuck on some geometry outside of the tower.
Mm.
And so I know Lago has fixed that in upcoming builds, but
not this one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, those weren't ready in time for season 6. So
we would also have the fast statues in .g in that case as well.
God,
fast statues.
They're so nice. I love them.
I know.
But they just hop really fast.
Yeah, they go extremely fast, and you can also clear the rooms in any order.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
You're not forced.
Cool. Pretty awesome.
Yeah. But then, I mean, putting aside the kind of unfortunate Helmarock softlock, either way, whether it happened or not, this was an extremely close race.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. We were not sure who was going to come out on top either way. And I think we literally switched who we said we thought were ahead every 5 minutes, because it was wait.
It was interesting, and it got really hard to tell as soon as we started to realize that the shard had to be on ankle. Because we knew it long before either of you did, because Mr. Mario, you rushed Wind Temple into FF, while Crystal was clearing Overworld before she went there. But so Crystal had found her other statues, and we're while you had done Wind Temple, so we're oh, ankle has their shard, and Crystal didn't get the small island. And so we were wondering if you would, but you're in this scenario where you're at Forest Haven, small island's a hinted Tingle statue, and you only had 2, so of course you didn't get it.
Right. Yeah, I was just hoping that the other Tingle statues were in Forsaken Fortress and Tingle would be junk, or Ankle would be junk, basically.
Yeah. In both Koala and I's opinion, that was probably the correct play.
Oh, 100%.
It was the correct play, just not the right one.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate.
I don't think you understand my fear when I finished the mini boss for Wind Temple, and I'm wait a minute, I'm missing 3 shards. I picked up the sword. What happened? And I'm trying to comb through my memory banks. I'm looking at my hints. I don't know what happened. And then I'm I was all right, maybe Coral will give me the answer. And it was Small Island chest, Tingle statue. And went, oh shit. I freaked out. I really thought once I saw when I saw that hinted Tingle statue, I really thought I had lost a race, because if it would me, I would have gotten the Tingle statue my first trip to Forest Haven. I just can't, Coming back later is just so inconvenient with small magic, in my opinion. I'd rather just take the time loss if Inca was dead all along. I mean,
Well, what Koala and I and some people in the chat kind of talked about was, if you end up needing to come back for only Small Island, what you can do is you can do the Wind Waker dive.
I was about to say, you're right. I was thinking that as well when I was coming back, and I was well, I should just do the Wind Waker dive.
But to specifically finish that thought, because Mr. Mario, you did do the Wind Waker dive, but then you took the bulbs up. What you can actually do is you can use the grappling hook. Well, you can. So after you do the Wind Waker dive, you would then exit out of Forest Haven, and then that little grapple post there. You can use the grappling hook, make sure your wind is pointed south, and then you can leap there after you let go in the air.
Wow, I wish I knew that.
Yeah,
I know.
We could have been tied or something.
That's a very old. You guys were so close, but then you had to climb all the way up Forest
Yeah.
Haven, which is where you're probably about a minute behind there.
Yeah, and to be completely honest, like that strat is like archaic.
Yeah,
Like,
right now that's a very niche strat because it hasn't been something people really have done for a couple of years. So I don't blame
there's
you
a
for
lot
not
of
knowing
strats
it,
like that.
But
there are.
That's one of those ones that if you don't have the forbidden knowledge of the elders, you might not. You probably don't know how to do
boomers.
it. I said what
Yes.
I said, and I stand by it.
Boomers. I'm just glad I got to pull out the spoiler log strat of beetle storage.
Oh yeah.
And for said, dude, I didn't know what to do with BPR. I didn't have grappling hook. And I was like, well, I'm not going for cliff blast. So beetle storage, clearly the best option I have. Smile.
And
It's
honestly,
great.
okay, I actually want to hear both of your thoughts. Cliff Plateau and Bomb Island both hinted dead. Bombs on Thorn Ferry. How did you feel about that?
I hated life. Well, okay, I wouldn't have been as sad if I had gotten grappling hook a lot earlier.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's not as bad if you can find grappling hook, but I mean grappling hook was in Southern Ferry, so like it was awful.
Mm-hmm. In all technicality, locked by those bombs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it was really bad. I don't know.
I was really considering super swimming from Dragon Roost to Thorned Island.
Mm-hmm.
But I have only done it once. And even though I have succeeded that one time, I do not trust myself to try it again.
Mm-hmm. In like complete fairness to you, that is a harder swim because not only is it a 2 quadrant down and then 1 quadrant right swim, but Thorn Ferry is located in like the bottom half of that quadrant, so it's even further than you'd think. So it's like that is just a hard swim to do. Especially if you don't get a air refill, luckily.
I have no idea how I pulled that out of my ass one time, but
like man, sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
Dude, I started sweating at one. I'm like sweating. I was so nervous. I got in a game, and I'm like, I don't know about this. This is either A, really close, or B, Mr. Mario is having the worst time of his life right now because he should have finished before me. Oh yeah, fucking that bottle and hop across. By the way, I was really excited for Spiky hop across, and it was a bottle, and I was mad.
We had a good laugh about that.
Yeah, I liked more the Nehru's Pearl Path to Mulgara.
I know, right? That was awesome.
Finally getting paid out with a hook shot on Deluxe Picto. Like, wow.
We were trying to figure out what it was gonna be for a long time. The one we totally weren't hoping for was Skullhammer and Hop Across.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. Actually, when I was playing, I was like, Skullhammer Hop Across is gonna fuck me over. Leave and go get bombs because it's a Trez seed, right? That's the type of shit would happen. Then I got a hammer on Cyclo, so I'm like, oh well. It's probably Command Melody and Tatji.
Yeah, I was hoping. I was expecting Command Melody and Tatji. But it just didn't happen.
Dude, that's...
You get back-to-back items for Wind Temple, and it's like, oh, okay, guess I'm going there.
By the way, our mail was completely dead, right? Like, we didn't get anything on mail. I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think you're right.
This would have been a great seed for that.
Yeah, why couldn't the mail be foolish instead of Forsaken Fortress?
Yeah, I would have rather cleared up Forsaken Fortress.
I'm surprised you want the mail to be foolish instead of Forsaken instead of Cliff Plat.
Oh yeah, well,
dude. Actually, yeah. No, you know what? Can
Cliff
I?
Pla-
Yeah, I'd take
that
Cliff
ruined
Plateau.
my opener.
Actually,
I didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
I
that's
forgot
what
that the mother and child swim was a thing.
that's what we were saying. Cliff
I
Plat
did too.
Foolish. Cliff Plat Foolish can really screw with a lot of people because a lot of people
I-
try to route Cliff Plat early.
Well, I was like, alrighty, there was no Western hit time to do West, and I went to Windfall, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to do the Western Super Swim. Oopsie daisy.
Oh yeah, we also had a fun time where so Crystal, you went to Windfall immediately,
Yep.
and then Mr. Mario went to Outset immediately, and you both got rewarded and punished
Dude,
by your choice.
I felt like I kept getting punished every time I went somewhere, right? Like, I went to Windfall first, and then Outset had Pictobox. I'm like, alrighty, great. And then, I got Boomerang on Beetle, and I'm like, alrighty, well, we're going to go to DRI next. And I had already had Leaf. And then I got fucking punished by that because Power Bracelets were there. And I'm like, what is this shit? Come on!
At least we
fine.
did one dip pop print.
Yeah, I know.
True.
Did single dip
It's the
pop print,
little
thank
things.
goodness. The little things. I know. The Eastern Start also messed with my head a little bit. I didn't.
Yeah.
I kind of like. I mean, obviously, I knew I was on a fairy island, but I was like, oh, look at platform fairy island. Oh boy, my favorite show. And then I'm like, no, wait, Eastern is destroy cannons and fucking whatever. Just cannons and enemies to spawn the chest. Big sad. No pot drop today. Not that I actually probably would have gone for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although, who knows? Feeling risky. Would have paid out so well with those iron boots.
You did need them.
I did need them. Ah, dude, I swear. What a seed. Once again, my swords. My swords were so late.
Yeah, there was 2 in Wind Temple.
Yeah, there was 2 in Wind Temple, and then the other one was just vibing it. But I only remember how I feel like I got everything late that I want. My bows were late. The swords were late. Everything was late.
Yeah.
Again,
It was not an early stacked seed.
It was not, which is fine, I guess. I guess it worked out in the end. Oh well, sorry to everybody's predictions, by the way. Except for like Alex and Jazz, I want to say. I think they're like the only people that predicted me to win against Mr. Mario.
Well, we could still face off again in grand finals.
You're so right.
Exactly.
Let's do that. Exactly. All right, Mr. Mario. We have to get to grands together.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I think I've got all my questions out of the way. How about you, Koala?
Yeah, I think I'm good. I'd like for Xenu to come in and tell us what else ZSR has on the docket.
We have a ton of Wind Waker. That's what's going on.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. So, tomorrow we have the triple header of Tandra versus KitKat, Tandra versus KitKat, and Tandra versus KitKat.
Let's go.
What about Tandra versus KitKat, sir?
Yeah, so that's happening tomorrow at 12 p.m. It's happening tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, and then again at 2:30 Eastern, and then possibly, if it's needed, at 5 p.m. Eastern. Those could also just be like boom, 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 back to back. We'll see what the runners want. But yeah, we got we got 2 to 3 games of that going on. We also have game 2 of Lyric versus Blueshung going on tomorrow at 3 Eastern. And some other stuff. We got like the MMR. We got an MMR race, Dodo versus Boo, that's happening at 4:15 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! Party all night, baby.
Yeah. And then also on Saturday we have the nightcap of more Wind Waker, which is a doubleheader of Blob versus Momo and Blob versus Momo. And then Sunday we have even more Wind Waker. That we've got Advocate versus Lanamphy at 10 a.m. to start your day with. We've got Advocate versus Lanamphy. We got City versus Zenki at 10 a.m. to start your day with. Then 11 a.m. on Sunday, we have Advocate versus Lanamphy. And then it's just Wind Waker. It's just so much fucking Wind Waker. Oh my god. Anyway. Anyway.
Great news.
Good news for us. Good news for us. So I actually don't have a raid target in mind. Do you guys see anyone Wind Wakery that's live that we can send these fine folks to? Actually,
No.
Could go to Scrub Central for the
yeah,
live.
we could.
Oh yeah, do that.
Yeah, we'll send you guys over to Scrub Central.
Hey.
I'm not biased at all. It's not like I'm not biased at all as the founder of Scrubs.
Well, I
But
think we're outnumbered here.
we'll send you guys over to Scrub Central. They're doing one of their qualifiers for their tournament. Anything else the runners want to say before we get out?
I blame Trez for this scene.
Yeah, it is 100% his.
Perfect.
All right, so we'll see you guys over at Scrub Central, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for what is called a metric butt ton of Wind Waker.
Just a metric ton in general on ZSR.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
GG's.